Hey guys, so today we're going to be going over another indicator, and that is called the RSI. So if we look at RSI, what does RSI stand for in stocks? If you look at the RSI, it stands for Relative Strength Index, and it says it's a momentum indicator used in technical analysis that measures the magnitude of recent price changes to blah blah blah. You probably won't understand this, and I hate reading that. I lose brain cells, and that is too complicated for new traders. So let's go back here. So the RSI is basically telling me is a stock oversold or is it overbought? And it usually, if it's oversold, people come and buy it, and if it's overbought, people have a better chance of selling this. But how do you know if it's oversold or overbought? Well, if you go to your indicators, as you can see, I have the MACD pulled up from last video. If you go to your indicators and you go to RSI, so I think this is alphabetical order, so RSI right here. So if we go to RSI, I'm not sure if there's any options for this. No, there isn't. So if we go to RSI, we see this 70 line and we see this 30 line. And you're probably wondering why these are highlighted. And basically, if it's above 70, that means it's overbought. And if it's below 30, that means it's oversold. So a lot of the times we see stocks channel like balance between these two lines, and often when the line goes above these lines, that's when people start to sell. So if you look at the RSI right here, so see how this is see how much this goes up. We see the RSI go into the overbought territory, and it ends up going to 80, which is pretty high for an RSI. And as soon as it's 80, that's when you see it start falling again, because people are selling because of the RSI. And we see it drop back. We see it drop so far that ends up going in the oversold territory, and it goes to 20. And do you guys notice how as soon as it gets in this oversold category, it always comes back up? So right here, it drops, comes back up, drops, comes back up, drops, comes back up, drops, and this is actually comes back up, and then it drops even more. So that would have been a fake out. But anyway, so if you're using the RSI, do not use it to base a trade. You usually want to use price action and candles and volume and momentum to base a trade. But RSI and like MACD, RSI in this video is important to use for confirmation. So say that we want to take, so say we think this stock's bottomed out right here, right? And we see this nice green candle after it gaps down, and we see a good day off at $20. So I just realized that I actually typed in the ticker RSI. That's funny. So let's go to like SPY. So say we want to take a trade. Let's go to the daily. So say we want to take a trade like right here. We think SPY's bottomed out, but we don't know if we should take it or not. So you want to look at your indicators. And if you pull up the RSI, we see the RSI is at 33 and 36 in combined days. So when we see that, that is a good confirmation to go long, because as you can, if you look at the history of SPY, every single time it gets down to the 30 level, it always goes back up. So if we look at SPY, see how it got all the way down here, and then the RSI got all the way down to 30, that would have been a good time to go long and buy the dip, because SPY was so oversold. And let me take these off the chart. So that would have been a good time to use RSI for confirmation. So let's look at like mRNA. So we see mRNA had this huge dip, and say you think it's bottoming out right here. So you're reading the volume, you're reading the candlesticks, and you're like, I think mRNA is bottoming out right here. So you want to check your indicators for indication, or confirmation. So you check the RSI, and the RSI is at 30. So as you can see, every time in the past where it's nears 30, it always bounces back up. So 30 bounce, 30 bounce, goes a little under 30, bounces. So yeah, that is the RSI, and it can be used for very, very good indication of stock. And as you guys can see, it's in an uptrend right now, so the next target for this would probably be the 70 area before it starts to sell off again and dip. But if it goes over 70, that doesn't mean it's always going to go back down, because as you can see, look how this goes all the way to 85, and yet you see mRNA still go up. So it gets all the way to 500, and it literally goes up to this 85 level so much, and then finally ends up selling off again. And yeah, so the next time if we look, so see how it goes to 500 and this goes to 85 Terry. The next time this goes to 460, it doesn't get over 70, But if we look right here, when I was at 460, it was way over. It was way overbought right here at 460. But the next time it's at 460, it's not overbought. So that means that every time this goes higher, and then drops and then goes back to the same price, usually the RSI is lower. And if you don't understand what I mean, because I said that really fast, so I'm going to show you. So this goes to 459, right here, and this also goes to 459. If you look, when it goes to 459 right here, the RSI is at 459 right here. It's right around 65 level, but when it goes to 459 right here, the RSI is at a 61 level. So that's like a bad example. They're kind of the same at that point, but let me look for another example. All these are not pre-planned, so I'm actually finding examples live as we go. But so right here, so do you see how this snow is 325 and the RSI is at 70? Next time it's 325 right here, the RSI is 64 instead of 70. So that's just one thing to take in note by when looking at the RSI. And I usually mainly use RSI for confirmation. I don't use it to base my actual trade off of. But that is one of the most used indicators, just as MACD is. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Make sure to use my Webull referral code for two free stocks. My bad. And subscribe and notifications on. Like the video, comment some suggestions or questions, and have a good rest of your night.